Hey everybody. Oh my, I didn't mean to do it like that. There we go. Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in. Y'all don't mind me a little bit. I'm going to put some music on because I kind of like the background music going. Uh, and I like that little beat right there too. Yeah. And I'll turn it down a little bit so it's not too loud because I want you to be able to hear me. Good afternoon to all of you. This is not going to be very long. This is just an observation. I actually made a post about it yesterday, put up a video, a very old video about it. But I keep seeing the same things over and over again as I'm scrolling through. You can tag and share this video on your page if you like. Tag as many people as you want. Share it on your page if you like to do so. I'm going to leave it up for a little while. And then I'm probably going to take it down. But for those who might want to catch it on the replay, I didn't really give this whole conversation a title, but if I gave it one, I would say maybe it's you. The duty to become self-aware. As I'm scrolling through Facebook and social media, and not just Facebook, Instagram, and even looking at some things on TikTok, I keep noticing a running theme, especially amongst our people. The whole idea of having haters and becoming hard and becoming cold and not, caring and people aren't real and you can't trust anybody and all of those other things. Can I tell you something, ladies and gentlemen? Number one is that no one is an island. Okay, you weren't put on this planet in order for you to navigate it by yourself. If you are a person who says, well, I'm a loner, I don't want nobody around me, I don't need nobody, you are either operating from insecurity or from fear or from some other kind of emotional trauma that you have not yet been willing to face, because nobody has been placed in this earth to be a loner, to be a lone ranger. We are all interconnected with each other and interdependent upon each other, because there is one soul individualized into all of these multiple beings that inhabit this three-dimensional space. And so we are meant to connect with each other. We're meant to aid each other. We're meant to help each other. But what has occurred to me is that many people matriculate through this life completely oblivious to who they really are, and they're oblivious to how they show up in the world, how they show up in relationships, how they show up in employment, how they show up in their family connections, how they show up in the world. That they have no real clue, that they're not really clear about how their behavior, their attitude, their energy has an effect on the people around them and begins to create a climate and an environment that's not conducive for the life that they say that they want to live. Are you understanding me? If you're not willing to do some self-evaluation, to look inward and begin to examine what's going on inside of you, then you're not really paying attention to what's happening, and you're not worthy of the abundance that is available to you. If you're not willing to do the self-evaluation, away with this whole victim mentality, as though life is happening to you and you are somehow a victim of fate, that you're subject to whatever happens to be thrown at you at the moment, that you're somehow under attack by some demon, devil, imps, or spirits, or haters, or people that don't like you because you cute, because you smart, because you fine, because you anointed, because you this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. All of that's nonsense. Everything and everyone is for you. No one is against you. Even those who don't know that they are for you are for you. And even those whose intentions may not be aligned with your advancement are still working for you. It's not, whether someone is for you or not has nothing to do with their intention. Man, oh goodness, this is a lot deeper than what I wanted to go into, but since I'm here, let me say it. That whether someone is for you or not has nothing to do with their intention. It has absolutely nothing to do with their intention. It has everything to do with your perception. Your understanding of how the universe works and how the entire universe and how all of nature is conspiring together for your advancement, for your good, for you to be able to live your best life and be the highest, greatest version of yourself. So that even when someone's intentions don't align with your objective, it is already a part of the predestined, predetermined experience that is laced with lessons that are there to help advance you forward. So regardless of their intentions, what they meant for evil, God meant for good. You remember that principle from the Bible? That's a principle that even though the story is not literal, it's an allegory, it is an actual principle. What others may intend for evil, the universe has shaped and designed, God has designed and predestined for your good. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So you don't have any haters. You don't have any enemies. You don't have anybody that's actively working against you, because their intention has nothing to do with whether or not it is for you. It is your perception. If you look from the perspective of a victim, then you will be victimized by it. But if you look at it from the perspective of a divine being, then you will draw out of it those lessons and those things that are designed to advance and elevate you and accelerate you, and draw those in, embrace those, and move forward, and you'll be grateful for whatever they have provided or whatever they brought to your life. You will be grateful. Here's another one where David is purported to have said, "It was good for me when I was afflicted." What? Here's another one where he says, don't think it strange when fiery trials and difficulties come to try you, as though some strange, unfamiliar, unexpected thing has happened. Here's another one. Count it all joy when you fall into, or you give in or submit to diverse temptations. What he's essentially trying to get you to understand is that it is not the event itself that determines the goodness of it for you. It is your perception of the event. You have the power to transmute energy. So even when the intention may not align with your highest desire, you can take that energy that may have come from a negative space and transmute it so that it serves you, so that it elevates you, so that it accelerates you. Are you understanding what I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen? So I said all of that to say that you have to become more self-aware. What trauma, what hurt, what pain, what scar, what woundedness, what brokenness that you have accepted and embraced as your truth has now created this callus on your soul where you have shut down and built up a wall and locked yourself behind doors and closed yourself behind iron gates that keep you trapped in. You see, ladies and gentlemen, the thing about walls is not only do they keep people out, but they keep you in. And so when you want to be able to express and give yourself freely and open your heart and experience the abundance and blissfulness of true, unadulterated love and joy and bliss, you can't, because that underlying fear of what if and what if and what if, and I gotta be careful, and you can't trust nobody, and you can't and don't give yourself too freely, because that men will let you down, and this one gonna do that, and you know Negroes ain't this, and this one ain't that, and you can't trust these ninjas, and you can't. And so that wall keeps you locked away in that little compartmentalized state. And so you walk around, watch this, unconsciously angry. Woo! That's what I said. Unconscious, not actively consciously angry, but unconsciously fearful, angry, and bitter. And then so people begin to scatter and run away. And the popular thing today has been to attribute that to God moving them out of your life because they weren't for you. Oh, it was their absence and their subtraction from your life was a blessing from the Lord in disguise. Did y'all hear what I'm saying? Nonsense. Have you ever considered that some of the people that have been moved out of your life came with the blessing, came with an investment, came to create opportunities, and you were so shut down, so closed, so angry, so bitter, so fearful that they were removed so that they don't waste what's valuable, giving that which is holy to a dog. Oh my. Now, no, I ain't calling you no dog. I'm using the analogy. I'm using the allegory that's used, the same one that Jesus is purported to have used, giving that which is holy to dogs, casting pearls before swine. In other words, giving something of value to someone who cannot see the value of it because they're so fearful and they're so angry and they're so bitter. And so they're so closed off. You can't reach them for the wall. You can't reach them for the gate. You can't reach them because the door is locked. You can't reach them because they have shut themselves away behind the trauma of their experience. And so in essence, not in essence, in reality, you are allowing that trauma, whatever it was, to continue to control you. And even those people that you say caused you so much hurt and pain, they are long gone, forgotten about you, yet they are still dictating your life and your choices right now, this day, because you say, I learned my lesson. No, you learned to be traumatized. That's what you learned. You didn't learn the lesson, because if you learned the lesson, you'd still be walking in freedom. Truth makes you free. I know y'all don't like this. I know this is not what you wanted to tune in for, but truth makes you free. It doesn't traumatize you. It doesn't trap you. It doesn't constrain you. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It doesn't limit you. Truth makes you free. So you didn't learn the lesson, or you created and rewrote a lesson for you to learn that shut you down. And so now you can never evolve and develop and become the person that you really, truly desire and dream and envision yourself becoming, because you are okay with who you are right now. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You can never go on to become the person that you desire to become if you're not willing to let go of who you are right now. If you can't let go of who you are in this moment, in this place, right where you are right now, if you're unwilling to let go of who you are, you will never move on to who you can become. And so you sit there and you'll say, well, that's just how I am. This is just the way I am. This is the way I was raised. This is the way I think. I've always been this way. Okay, well, if that's working for you, stay like that. But if it's not working for you, it's not producing what you want, you're not getting the outcomes that you desire, you're still sitting around whining and complaining, then maybe you need to let go of who you are so you can become who you desire to be. Maybe you need to go inward and deal with your own trauma and your own hurt in those dark spaces. And instead of cursing the darkness, start transmuting that dark energy into the light that will illuminate your pathway and take you forward. Did you hear what I say? I know ain't but about 5 or 6 of you that's on here right now, but that's all right. The 5 or 6 that need to hear it are here, and the others that want to catch it later, you can catch it later. But stop thinking that you got a bunch of haters, because you don't. Stop trying to hold on to what has been your shield and buckler for so many years. That's the reason why you keep holding on to the anger, the bitterness, the resentment, the fear. You hold on to it because it's a shield and buckler. You think that it protects you. You think that it keeps you safe. It keeps you from getting hurt. It keeps you from being disappointed. It keeps you from being crushed. It keeps you from being traumatized again. No, it becomes the traumatizer. And you are still operating in that trauma. You are still operating and functioning from the place of your trauma. That's why you are so afraid to trust anybody. That's why even though you have encountered people who genuinely love you, genuinely want to help you, genuinely want to be there for you, you can only go so far with them. You can only give them so much. You can't be open and free with them because the trauma won't let you. You still scared. And you call it being cautious, being careful, discerning of the spirits. Stupid. And I just call you, I ain't mean to call you stupid. I'm just saying, but that's a stupid choice. You're not stupid. It's a stupid choice. Okay? And that trauma is nothing more than a self-created cage or prison that you confine yourself to and won't allow yourself to breathe and be free. You haven't learned your lesson. You haven't learned anything. You only learn how to hide, how to be afraid, how to be scared, how to be angry, how to be defensive. So that the slightest little thing that they say to you, you get mad. If you perceive it as a slight, you perceive it. I know you didn't. I know they didn't. I know that I did that. And it may have been an innocent act, may have been some completely, they're oblivious to it, but it triggers you. And you find yourself angry and pissy, mad and scared, ready to, I got to cut them off because they're moving funny. No, they're not moving funny. You just perceiving funny. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Look up in here. Are you hearing me? So you can either choose to walk by faith or to walk by sight. You can walk by what you know, what you intuitively know, what the Spirit of God is emerging and saying within you, saying to the church, or you can live by sight, what you've seen, what you've heard, what you've experienced, and what you've interpreted as your pain, your hurt, and your trauma. But you can't do both. You got to choose one of them because you're going to create a conflict. Okay? You can't do both. You're either going to walk by faith or you're going to walk by sight. You're either going to walk, yeah, that's good right there. Fear is a dis-ease. Ooh, that's good right there. Teresa said, fear is a dis-ease. It causes you discomfort, discombobulation. It disconnects you, distorts your view, and creates a dystopian existence. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Yes, Bree. Self-sabotage will cripple you every single time. Teresa says, keep holding on to trauma as if it's a badge of honor. If it doesn't serve you, stop serving it. That's right. I see people saying all the time, honey, I don't have no fucks left to give. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about this. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a, honey, I don't give a, I ain't got no fucks to give. No fucks left. Like that's something wonderful, something to brag about. That's stupid. So you don't care about anything. You don't care about anyone. You don't care about how things go, how things shape up. That's idiotic. And it's self-destructive. And that speaks more of your brokenness and your trauma than it does of your being hard, tough, or gangster, or any other thing. That tells me you are a scared little child doing whatever you can, grasping at straws to try and protect your heart. What do you mean you don't care? You were created to care. God is love. God is love, and God is you, and you is God. So that means you are love. And so for you to not care, it's for you to not love. You were created to love. And so when you assign yourself the mindset of not caring, not loving, not becoming attached, you are operating contrary to your nature. The nature of your being is to love and to care. And caring doesn't mean being dictated by. And when you start caring about what people say, they start dictating your life. No, you can care without allowing it to dictate your choices. Caring is a choice. I choose to care how I show up in the world, how I come across, how my presence impacts the people around me. I choose to care. I don't care. People just think whatever they want. I don't care. I don't care how I come across. I don't care. If you don't like it, too bad. You sound foolish and immature. Of course you care. You should. How do I come across? How do I impact? How do I show up in this world? Do I bring light or darkness? Are you understanding what I'm saying? There we go. For a second, my mic went out. Back on. Of course, you gotta care how you show up in the world. It's important. All right. I said I wasn't going to be on that long. I've already been 25 minutes. I'm done. I just needed to say that and try and hopefully get through to some people. And I hope you'll share this video. Send it in a message to the people that you know that need to hear it, who love to throw around those kind of defensive phrases. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what nobody thinks. Send it to them. Send it to the people who you know are traumatized and still living in that trauma. Do it quickly before I take it down. Okay. Like I said, I know this is outside of our normal time, but I just felt the urgency to come on and to really speak to this particular issue. All right, y'all. Have an absolutely fantastic, fantabulous day. Talk to you soon.